What about somebody from Northern Ireland? Who wants to speak from Northern Ireland? Yes, sir. Let's hear you.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'm Cormac Savage, the Member of Youth Parliament for South Down on the wonderful island of Ireland. To be homeless is something most of us will only ever have to imagine. To sleep rough is something most of us can only attempt to fathom the struggle of. For us to truly comprehend the horrors rough street sleepers in our society endure every day, we needn't look further than the stories of homeless women. Yes, Mr. Speaker, the patriarchy still exists, even when we consider homelessness. While the conditions of all rough sleepers that they endure are simply despicable, the circumstances of women specifically are sickening, an indictment of multiple aspects of our society on an issue so often perceived as a male issue. Women's Aid, a charity doing fantastic work to support vulnerable women, has reported that 1 in 10 of rough sleepers they were supporting this year are sleeping rough after fleeing domestic abuse. Studies have shown that 56% of homeless women have been subjected to the horror of rape. How can this happen? This makes my blood boil. How can people prey on the most vulnerable in our society for their own gratification? It is our job as the voice of youth, the voice of the future, to stand up for these women and proclaim for all in positions of authority to hear, this cannot, will not, and must not go on. This is not a problem that will eradicate itself. Homelessness has increased by 1/3 in the past 5 years in the north of Ireland and is showing no signs of stopping. Just in September, a rough sleeper in Belfast, a Belfast woman, was moved to a park in the suburbs to accommodate a cultural festival in the city centre. This is not the support the vulnerable in our society need from their government. It is my belief that this motion has a significance not simply in the battle to put an end to homelessness and rough sleeping, but also in the eternal march for true equality. How can we claim to live in an egalitarian society when 3 million of our citizens are considered homeless? It is blatant injustice. I stand here as a young man who is proud to describe himself as not only an egalitarian, but also specifically a feminist, because the facts on homelessness demonstrate that in the year 2018, there is still a need to fight for equality for all, even on the basis of gender. A society where women forced to sleep on the street hide from those who can give them help because they believe that, according to one rough sleeper, if we don't, we're going to get raped, kicked, beat. Today, I call on this House to stand up. Stand up for the 3 million concealed homeless people living in Britain, some of them our own constituents who have elected us. Stand up for those who have fallen through the cracks in a truly broken system. I call on all of you to stand up to injustice and equality and tackle homelessness once and for all by voting yes on this motion. Thank you.
Thank you. That was a spectacular speech. There is a premium upon time, so I'm keen to accommodate as many as I possibly can. If there's any scope for people to shave speeches, that's not directed at any one individual, to make them slightly shorter, that's great, but I'll do what I can. But I want now to call somebody from the northwest of England. Well, the first person I saw from the northwest of England was the young woman on the second row back. Yes, your good self. So let's hear from you.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Gabriella Lawless from Sefton. A lot of what I was going to say has already been said, but there's one big thing that has not been mentioned. 2 words: universal credit. What a wonderful thing this is. Many of you might not know what it is, but it's a benefit that combines 6 in 1, and it is a shambles. It is the worst thing that could have happened to this country. I know this because I'm on it. As someone who struggles with mental health issues, I cannot work in an environment because it causes me far